Welcome to Quiltologie, brought to you by Fabric Editions. My name is Kristen, and along with Fabric Editions, we've put together a few short videos of quilting concepts to help jumpstart your quilting experience. Today's lesson is going to be on machine applique. Traditional applique was done by hand, and it was very slow and time-consuming. So we've come up with a method of doing machine applique, which is much quicker and helps you get your projects done in a lot less time than it would be by hand. To begin your applique process, you take your applique pattern and you take your fusible web with the bumpy side, which is the glue side, and you place it over your pattern. Once you place it over your pattern, you simply trace your pattern out. Once you have it traced, you will cut it out with your scissors, and you'll want to leave like 1/4 of an inch all the way around your pattern. Once you have it cut out, you will then fuse it on your fabric, and make sure you fuse it onto the wrong side of the fabric according to the directions on the fusible. So you'll just take the fabric you want, place it, and fuse it down according to the directions. Once it's fused on, then you will need to trim it out. I like to use a rotary cutter for curves because it just, to me, is easier. You can use your scissors as well, and we will just trim out the piece, and this time you will cut directly on your lines. And when it's time to cut on the straightaway, I always like to go ahead and use a ruler so you know you will get the straight. So to finish it off, I will just place my ruler on the straight line. And I will have my applique piece ready to place on to my pillow. Next, because you need to remove the paper that has the glue on it, you'll simply take a pin, or you can use your sharp scissors and just score the paper. And what this will do, it will help you remove the paper easier. And then you simply place your applique piece wherever you desire it to be, and according to the directions that are on the fusible, you fuse it down. Then you'll take it to your machine to sew. As you prepare to applique, there's a few things you need to consider. First is thread color. Do you want to stitch with a thread that is similar in color to your fabrics, and that way it'll blend? Or would you like to stitch with a contrasting thread that'll make your stitches pop? The next option is to consider what type of stitch you would like to use. The first stitch is the satin stitch. This is where all the stitches are very close together, and it's covering the edge of your fabric. The next sample of stitches we have are the zigzag stitch. And the third sample is the buttonhole stitch, which is also on this side of the fabric as well. There's no right or wrong, it's just personal preference and what look you're trying to achieve. This machine is now set up for the buttonhole applique. Make sure you have a new sharp embroidery needle, an open toe, stitch foot, and then you can adjust your stitch length and width. And I've chosen to go ahead and use a dark thread so you'll be able to see the stitches better. To start, just hold your threads back, have your needle ready, and it's going to have a rhythm to the buttonhole. And the trick with the buttonhole is there's just kind of a rhythm where you'll get where it's coming forward, twice forward, and then once to the side. And just like with everything, the more you practice, the better you will become at this. And you want to always keep your fabric at a 90-degree angle. So as you can see, I'm gently turning the fabric as we're hitting the curves. And you're in no hurry, so just take your time until you get used to it. It's very simple to do. And once you have this technique down, there's endless possibilities of projects you can create. When I come to a point, what I like to do is use my needle down, and if you don't have a needle down, just simply turn your hand wheel so you get right in the point, and then turn so you'll have a nice stitch that'll be at a 90-degree angle for your fabric, and it'll be just one stitch, needle down, and then you can turn your fabric and head right back up the top of the curve. And as I said, this is just practice, and the more you practice, the better you'll become at it. As with any new technique, the more practice you have, the more confident you will become. I hope you enjoy making many new applique projects with this new technique.